One more sales call changed everything. Sometimes we think that our biggest breakthroughs come from complex strategies, when sometimes it could be something very simple as continuing to persist when others decide to go home early. This was back when I was working in commercial print sales, business to business sales. And with commercial print, we're printing millions, thousands of invitations or letterhead, primarily for the gaming community, but also various businesses that need large scale print production. I had the sales story that included downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street. Fairly new, I think, in the business, and going through the various downtown properties that you see on Fremont Street. This was probably even before they had the Fremont experience and the big canopy over the top of the lights. But I remember going through these old casino properties. I'm going through these hallways where it says employees only, just trying to find somebody that I can talk with that's in either marketing or purchasing. And it's a Friday, and you've been in Vegas, it's hot, it's in the summer, it's 100 degrees, maybe hotter. And I'm going to these various properties having no luck. I know it's late on a Friday, and I'm ready to bail. I'm ready to call it a day and start my weekend. And then I remember there's one property. I was on the west side of the strip, Las Vegas Boulevard on Fremont Street, where the big canopy is. And there was one more hotel that was a couple blocks down on the east side of the strip. And it was a little bit of a stretch from where I was at the moment. But I remember in the sales books that I would read, they talked about making one more call, just putting in one more additional effort. So I decided, okay, let me walk down to this property. I walked down to this property in the hot sun. I might have passed an alley where it's unpleasant in 100-degree heat. Let's just say that, with the passing by an alley in downtown Vegas. Anyway, I get to the property. I speak with somebody up front. I think it was somebody in purchasing. They were super friendly. And they said, hey, you know what? Why don't you go talk with Joe in marketing? Yeah, no problem. So I go through this hallway, go up these stairs, knock on the door, let him know my name. I'm with this company. We do commercial print. And he does not look happy. Joe does not look happy at all. He signals me in, waves me in. I come in, have a seat. I'm sitting in his office, papers all over the place. And he said, my current printer is taking advantage of me. Now, he didn't say it in those words. I'm not going to say it on camera for YouTube and everything. He didn't say it in those words, but basically he said, my printer's taking advantage of me. Here's all of their quotes. If you could beat all these quotes, you have all of our business. And I was floored. I mean, he was not in a good mood. Something must have just happened with this other printer. I round up all the estimates. So I have all the dimensions, the paper stock, the color, all the details that I need. I go back, share the story with our estimators. We come back in and we got all the business for years, all of the business. And it was so funny because we became such good friends. He was such a fun, positive guy, Joe. It was just, I think he had a difficult time with that previous printer, and I just happened to step in at the right time, at the right place. I would go in there and meet with him, and we would talk and hang out. And of course, you have to bid this out to other companies, most likely, to get some gauge to see that we're still in the line in pricing. And I remember I would be in there, and of course, he'd show me some pricing and other things to make sure we're in the right ballpark. And then would even show me like some fancy business card from some design agency. He's like, look at this. You threw it right in the garbage. Like, that was the amount of trust and rapport we had. It was phenomenal. And we became really great friends. Just if you saw my previous video, similar story, became great friends. And I remember he invited me over to his house for a pool party. He had a nice sized pool. And I show up there, and he was joking around with me because he had other vendors there too. Now, the other vendors that he had worked with were in food and beverage and things like that. So they're bringing him all these big shrimp. They're bringing him alcohol, all the stuff. And he kind of joked about me like, yeah, what's Robert going to bring? Like, he's going to print the invitations for our get together here. But it was a lot of fun. And I really miss the customers that I had back then. And man, it's over 2 decades now. But I still remember these valuable lessons and stories. And that's why I'm sharing them with you. And it comes back to that, like Alex Hermosi says, putting in the reps, getting in those last reps at the end of the day, especially in that example that I shared with you. It's the end of a day on a Friday, 100+ degree heat, downtown Vegas, passing some undesirable alleys, getting to this casino property. And that's it. That one call turned into all of this business. And not only that, turned into a great friendship as well. So keep that in mind. When you're discouraged, things don't seem to be working out. I was hitting all those other properties, going through these doors. I probably shouldn't even been in there. I don't think I was kicked out. I don't know. But besides that, make that last call, make that last effort. And timing is everything. Had I not showed up on that Friday, maybe somebody else would have showed up. Maybe he would have reconsidered and went back to that existing printer. But everything aligned perfectly with that. And we acquired a new customer and an amazing friend out of that. So keep that in mind. Put in the reps, do the extra work, and good luck will find you as well. Have an amazing day. Thanks again.